I'm Dr. Richard Gold. I'm the Head of Security Engineering here at Digital Shadows. Most of my work centers on pre-product development for the company. So my team researches interesting, novel security techniques with an eye on how we can integrate them into the product. As well as that, the team is also heavily involved in internal security. So that involves looking at security controls that the organization uses, how best to protect ourselves, and what attackers are using. So in the last 20 years, I've had a lot of experience doing networking, operating systems work, and development work. And these three pillars have really supported doing security work. I've always had a passion for security since I was a teenager, so being able to work in the field is really a dream come true for me. Also, I found that the experience of doing a PhD really taught me the value of persistence, to keep going even when all hope seems lost. So for me, I really enjoy having an idea, doing some initial proof of concept work, and then ushering that proof of concept into production to work with the engineers to build it into the product. And then to see that product feature to go live, to provide value to our customers, I think is really exciting. So our goal is really to help clients protect themselves and to give them the information that they need to reduce their uncertainty about the risks that they face. So in order to do that, in the security engineering team, we spend a lot of time studying attacker tradecraft, how attackers operate, what are their goals, what tools do they use, what are their go-to techniques, and being able to put this understanding and experience together into a product feature so that that can be part of our product, which is delivered in an automated and scalable way to our customers. Well, unsurprisingly, based on our podcast, for me the biggest threat that organizations face is security debt. That is, patches not being applied, security features being misconfigured, credentials not being changed, and these small things add up and add up and add up over time, so to really cause a significant risk to some organizations. So I think the biggest change for me has been that we've moved from a world where security was a niche concern, something that was an issue for top-tier financial institutions, defense contractors, organizations like this, to now pretty much every organization on the planet has to think about security in some way. And some organizations have been much slower to adapt to that new reality than others. For me, one of the biggest misconceptions is that you can buy your way to security. That if you spend enough money, you will be secure. And that really misses out that although you do need to buy certain appliances, services, systems, you need to put the time in to get to know your environment, to understand how it operates, where the weaknesses are, where the flaws are, how attackers could take advantage of those flaws. One of the biggest challenges is keeping up to date with everything. And security is a very diverse field. We've seen, even just in recent times, issues with process and microcode architecture, networking issues, operating system issues, and then from there all the way up to policy, legal, even nation states, how they pursue their interests spills over into the cyber realm. And I think that this diversity is very complex and very challenging. You need to understand a lot to be able to make sense of it all. And keeping up to date with all of these different facets of the field is really a challenge. I spend a lot of time reading. I spend a lot of time reading and reading different things. I think there's a lot of very valuable information on Twitter, for example. Security professionals, one thing that's fantastic about them is they're very open about sharing their knowledge. So you can really learn a lot from the great people we have working in the industry. And I think understanding that you have to dedicate time to understanding what's going on, to keeping up to date, and also training to make sure that you have the right skill set, I think that's really important. I think you need to have the fundamentals in place. I think understanding networking, understanding operating systems, understanding programming are three absolute fundamental pillars you need to have. And then the security knowledge is really a mindset that you have on top of this. It's a way of looking at operating systems, networking, development in a particular way, in a security-oriented way that helps you see how these things can be used or misused. And I think that once you have those fundamentals in place, I think you're in a really good position.